Hi, today I'm going to show you about, with the jaw, how to synchronize with the body. Synchronization and the timing must be quite accurate. When we do Jo Suburi, we've got to think as if we're practicing the notes. If you think about the piano, we need to learn our notes. Fingers must be put in the right place, sitting correctly, and then do the basic first. Once we understand how the basic works, then we can do some more advanced movement. And I think the Jo Suburi should not be just an end goal, but an instrument to be able to continue and progress further. So one of the things I want to say is, when you practice Jo Suburi, for example, Jodan Gaishi Uchi, one of the things that is very important, and I mentioned in the previous video, is you go left and right. So when you're into the skin of the man, you stay on the left side. So there. The basic tells us with the Kihon that we need to break it down into 3 parts for this one. This is the second part. Now when you do the second part, it needs to be done with the hips. Even if you break it down, you move with your hips when you thrust. When you withdraw, you also move with your hip. Your front foot should be adjusting into a handi. Your elbows need to be quite close, not wide apart, close. Here, koku. The next part is you step to the other side and you strike into yokumen. That's a feeling. So 1, 2, 3. If I count 1, 2, 3, we've got 3 separate count precisely. So when you're doing a count, you do 1, 2, number 3 is together, 3, but you rotate and you make that as number 3 together. What it shouldn't be is something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So easily you can add more numbers than there should be. In that one sequence, there should be just 1. In that number 2 sequence, together, 2. In number 3 sequence, together, 3. We make that very clear. We want to avoid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you see what I mean. Because when it moves quicker, you have to really use the timing and synchronizing the body with the weapon, the hips on the center of the command, so you direct wherever you want to go. So if I do the advanced Jodan Gaishi Uchi, it's shorter. Now here, 1. You don't have time to do this 2 and 3. It's only 2. 1, 2. So 1, 2. You need to be moving very quick. The tip: 1. Where the jaw is, it stays there. That's the center. It stays there, and then you move offline and strike. That's the key. What you don't want to do is do this. 1, leave the jaw, because you expose yourself already. the jaw is pointing towards the attacker, so we want to leave that. I don't want to lift it. I'm creating an opening here. There, you don't create an opening. You keep the jaw pointing towards the attacker, but you move at the same time. So you get a much quicker response, synchronizing body movement. It forces you to move with your body. It's harder. What we don't want to do is do this. This still here, still in the line of the attack, because the jaw is still pointing towards me. I don't want to be here. At the least I want to get at. But here I'm still what appears to be in that line. But there's a chance if I step in quickly enough to withdraw the rest of my body out of line. So that's what you want to achieve when you're going faster. You're going to do this. The other thing is, when you raise the jaw above your head, you don't want to be in here forever, because you are the weakest point. You're exposing your organs. So here, you really need to quickly cut down in timing. Because the same, this number 5, Jo Suburi. Move the body offline, strike. So, you don't want to do this. Expose your body as you come forward. You need to feel you're moving forward with the weapon drawing down. That's the big difference. Very common mistake is to do this feeling and then trying to go forward. All of that is already exposed. So yes, you avoid, but feeling of it, is to cut with your left hand, right hip together. In that synchronization of the body is done with the hips. When something goes very fast, it can be done if you're using the center. Also, if you're moving without exposing yourself too much. So you don't want to give witness. This feeling is very important. Ito Hemi. So just avoiding from Kendo Kame. This is a feeling. The jaw is still pointing straight up. So is my head. The body turns, but not my head, nor the jaw. When I cut down in kokyu with your left hand. And the feeling of hamni is accentuated because you feel that's the correct way to do it. What you don't want to do with this movement is you square here and then another step. You want to Ito Hemi, pull this feeling. Very identical to another Ito Hemi. In fact, I think it's that feeling of Ito Hemi even more. There. That's the feeling. So it's important to synchronize the body movement as one. We do the count, but we don't want to be trapped into 1, 2, 3. We've got to make it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it becomes 1, 1. A bit like the piano note. They keep moving and they create a melody. So the feeling of Aikido, in my view, is the same. There, Ken no Kame. That same feeling. There's different stages, but I think if you focus on finding the kokyu and the correct timing, body positioning, it will help a lot in your Aikido, and you can create some advanced stuff. Like in Kumi Jo number 8. This is possible because the body moves together. It's 1, 2, but it's 1 as a movement. And then you have these different feelings where you can change and move away from the basic and do something a bit more advanced. These possibilities are there, so long as we understand the timing, what happens in that timing. In the Kumijo number 8, it's not finishing here, plonk, it's stuck, it still comes forward, there's more. Sometimes they finish with the Kumijo number 3. It's almost what appears to be a double thrust. But it is a double thrust with one trapping the other 2 thrusts above. So you want him to block and then go straight in. So there are aspects of Aikido where you have these double movements coming up in one go, and it's possible to do it if you have the timing, correct timing and the correct basic. So it's very important to do the correct basic. Just keep looking at me. And we kind of move away from the Jo Suburi. These can be done if you use the hips and find the kokyu. And that's why the weapons are so important, because they teach us so much. When you practice weapons, your taijutsu improves enormously because you get a better sense of utilization of body, how that applies with the technique. You wouldn't do a thrust on its own. This feeling, but to use this. So in turn, when you do taijutsu, It's the same feeling. This feeling, not that feeling, but more this. That is the reason why weapons in general are so invaluable. We have to practice with them in order to understand the deeper level of Aikido that U-sensei taught in his late years in Burma, really teaching deep the use of the hips, how we can use that with different shape, body movement. When it becomes very advanced, you begin to do the notes first. When it becomes very advanced, you create some very advanced melody, different tunes, and I think Aikido is that as well. In very advanced level, you reach a level of free flow Aikido, moving, flowing Aikido, and flowing Aikido also becomes Takemusu Aikido because a number of techniques suddenly emerge. They're not techniques created from here, but the body making this happen because you're creating a condition. That's a possibility. Nugget, for example. There's so many things. Kokunage. It's only possible with repeated training over and over again. Basic, basic, basic. We go to the advanced level, but we always go back to basic, 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 to make sure we get a strong foundation, footwork, correct placement of the hips, posture, fin of the koku, zanchin, kiai, so many more. I hope you enjoyed this video, that it was actually helping how the body synchronize together as one. Thank you for watching.